Welcome to Brawl Till We Fall. My name is Teo, and this is Brawl Till We Fall, and this is the AEW edition. Um, we got a lot to talk about. We're going to cover Dynamite, Collision, Rampage. We're going to cover all of this week's events, or I should say last week's events, because this is Monday. Um, and I apologize for not doing the regular Sunday review, but um, you know, things happen. Anywho, let's get into it. I loved this week's Dynamite. It started off with action from beginning to the end. It was like a movie. It was great. It kicked off with the Blackpool Combat Club, John Moxley and Bryan Danielson versus the Don Callis family, Kyle Fletcher and Jeff Cobbs, who made his debut. He is from New Japan Wrestling. But it kicked off to the point, and I love it when they have the music playing and they're wrestling it out. And I love it. I don't know why they don't just keep it like that. I like the music playing and the fighting going on. It's like a barroom brawl, and it's just great. It's awesome. Um, I do have a question though. I wonder if Don Callis, who was on commentary while this was going on, only supports certain family members. Because you very rarely see him out there when wrestler getting beat down, like Will Osprey. And it's happened many times. You don't see none of the family members. You don't see Don Callis out there. I wonder if he thinks these guys need him more than Will Osprey does. I don't know. But anyway, the fight went on. Of course, the Blackpool Combat Club. They're a combat club, so that means they're gonna win, and they did win, and they beat them down. But to no avail. Of course, there's more members of the Don Callis family. So Takeshita came out and hit him from behind. And again, like I said, it was one of those big brawls, fights, beatdowns. It was great. It was awesome. I loved the beginning of that. Um, we're gonna move on to some more action. It went from one thing to the next. Adam Copeland getting a beat down from the House of Black. Um, I'm gonna just give you my opinion on this though. I think this shows to me some fear. If you think about it, Adam Copeland has beaten all the members of the House of Black. He beat them down. The only one left is the leader. So I feel like this. If on this Sunday, when it goes down at Double or Nothing, if he defeats um, Mr. Black himself, um, if he defeats the leader, Malachi Black, he deserves to either be the new leader or at least a member of the House of Black. That's just my opinion. I mean, come on, he done beat all of y'all. He should be the leader. Um, but to no avail, they beat him down. Kyle O'Reilly tried to come out and save him, but that wasn't happening. They cleaned his clock, as Taz would say. So I can't wait because I know who Adam Copeland is. I've seen him do some very, very bad things. And when you open up that Pandora's box in his head, trust me, House of Black, you don't want to see what's going to come out of it. I can't wait to see that on Double or Nothing. That's one of the matches that I'm looking forward to. Then they showed footage of Eddie Kingston, who got taken out at an in New Japan Wrestling event. The EVPs struck again, which another team that's showing fear. The only time you weaken a team is because you know you can't beat them. And that's just in my eyes, and that's the way I see it from the streets. So they beat him down till he cannot make it. He was taken out, and that's the end of him being that fourth member. Um, and it's just, it's one of those things where, you knew he was going to be the man you looking for to bring Team AEW over. But the EVP struck. And but we're going to talk about them later as they bragged about how they outsmarted everyone. And everybody knows that Kenny Omega was the brains behind the Elite. And without him, these guys aren't even the EVPs. They're the PVEs, the prostitute Vagina Elite. Anyway, we're gonna keep on moving. Speaking of the Elite, they faced Matt Sydal and Christopher Daniels, and they won, of course, because they are who the bosses. Privilege of being the boss. But what I did not like is afterwards they fired Christopher Daniels, and then on top of that, this fool Perry pours a drink over Tony Schiavone's head. That was unnecessary. There's just some unnecessary shenanigans that they pulled in. It's getting the ratings, of course, but it's just unnecessary shenanigans. And eventually, you know, everything that comes around goes around. And guess what? There is a such thing as karma. So I can't wait till that karma start hitting them. Hook versus Sebastian Wolf. It took all of 5 seconds. 5 seconds for Hook to tap him out. And that's because he was really angry about Jericho, who it took only a minute to come out with the learning tree. Well, I should say Big Bill, who he calls the Big Red Wolf, the Big Red, or whatever he calls him, the Big Red something. Anyway, he comes out, and it's like he's taunting him in a nice way. Well, that's not good. He does announce that he has a qualifying match for the FTW title starting on Saturday on Collision, and then Hook hits him with a microphone in his head and causes him to bleed. I didn't know microphones could be that dangerous. But anywho, Hook caught a beat down after that until Shibata made the save. But this is heating up. But you know, I don't know. It's not looking good for Hook. Even Shibata helping him against Big Bill, it just does not look feasible that they're going to beat these two. And that's just my opinion. Moving along, Swerve versus Brian Cage, match I was looking forward to, and Swerve whipped his ass. Yes, he did, and I was happy about that. Was not happy about the end result, as Christian Cage and his family came out, and Swerve gets low blowed by Nick Wayne, and a beatdown by Killswitch and Nick Wayne. And then they hit him with a family photo, busting him open. I mean, it's a good lead up to what's going to happen, because I guess when he take this much punishment, and here's what I'm going to say. Christian is now getting personal again, and he's gotten personal with other wrestlers. But you're about to learn, Christian, the hard way, that there's a difference between black and white. When you give us nothing else to lose, you reap what you sow real quick. It's like backing a cat in a corner. What do you think is going to happen to you? I can't wait. So that's another match I'm looking forward to. So far, they got a lot of bangers. They got a lot of heavy hitting matches that I can't wait to see. I ain't seen nothing on this roster yet that's gonna make me say, I ain't really worried about that. Nope. Every match on this pay-per-view, Double or Nothing, is a match I want to see. Even this match, even with Toni Storm, I want to see it. But anyway, Toni Storm versus Harley Cameron with Professor Deeb on the ramp with her banner. Toni Storm wins, but it was a tough win for Toni, which means that her versus the Professor Deeb is going to be a rough one for her. I can't wait to see that match. Will Ospreay and Roderick Strong face to face backstage, and after all the things they said, I'm hyped for that match. I can't wait to see that match. I know how good Roderick Strong is. I know he's technical. But Will Ospreay is one of the best wrestlers. So now, with them two going ahead, I can't wait for that match. Again, can't wait. The contract signer, CEO Mercedes Moné versus Willow Nightingale. And that ended with Willow putting the CEO through a table. Again, I can't wait to see this. Now, on other promotion, you know, Willow, we said when they got their belt, it was too soon for them to lose it. Over here, this is unpredictable. it's a good chance that Willow could lose her belt to the CEO. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. Like I said, I can't wait. You can't really predict what's gonna happen over here, man. This is hype. I'm hyped right now. All right, AEW Continental Championship, which is the final match of the night. The Rainmaker Okada versus Dax Hardwood of FTR. This was a seesaw match. This match was back and forth, hard hitting, but it was a setup. Again, the Elite showing their fear, trying to take out Dax because they wanted to be a 2-on-2 or 2-on-4, I should say. All their members are stacked and ready, but Team AEW is straggling, so they thought. Because at the end of this match, they introduced their new fourth man. Since you took out Eddie Kingston, oh, we got somebody for you. The returning Darby Allin. That's right, he came out hitting people with skateboards. It was awesome. Now you gotta understand, this is a tough little dude. I said some things about Orange Cassidy last week, that he's not Superman, he's not invincible. But Darby Allin, he got hit by a New York bus. He shouldn't even be there. Somebody get hit by a New York bus and still make it over there talking about I want to wrestle. Yeah, that's someone you got to watch out for. This kid is tough as nails. So, I can't wait. But anyway, Anarchy in Arena is another match. Another thing I want to see. I ain't going to say it's a match. That's going to be just crazy. It's going to be just what they call an Anarchy in the Arena. I've seen the other ones. The only thing I wish, because without John Moxley, man, Anarchy in Arena just ain't the same. But let's see, Daniel yo, it's going to be on. All I got to say is this. I can't wait to see that pay-per-view. So, Bryan Danielson is going to do his thing, and I pray that he do his thing. There's more coming up, some things that happened this week. So, let's move on. After this commercial break, we're going to get into Collision and then Rampage. Stay tuned. Alright, we're back. We're going to get into AEW Collision. Will Ospreay versus Shane Taylor and Anthony Ogogo. Roderick Strong, Taven, and Mike Bennett, Undisputed, is on the commentary. And you would think, they were going to jump in, but no, they didn't. Now, Shane Taylor is a big man, so I figure they think that he can handle things. However, with all the distractions and everything that was going on outside, and I mean everybody was getting involved. Anthony Ogogo, Undisputed. Will Ospreay still pulled it off with the Storm Driver. Yes, he picked that big man up and hit him with a Storm Driver. He has 9 wins and 0 losses. He's undisputed, just like what they're supposed to be. So, I like to see how they handle this. And even though they beat him down, which again, after the match they beat my man down. They beat Ospreay down. And like I said, and I said it before, where's Don Callis and the family? If he's supposed to be a part of the family, where is his backup? Anyway, I keep it moving. Backstage, FTR is talking about the target they have on their back. The Elite and the EVPs have put a bounty on them. And they got to face Lance Archer and the Righteous. This is going to be a test for them tonight, but I believe it's going to be a setup, and we're going to talk about it when it comes up. Anywho, next, the Blackpool Combat Club, Moxley and Claudio giving warning to Keshta and the rest of the Callis family. Basically, the time for talk is over, and they want to settle it in the ring. Jericho backstage comment on and getting hit in the head with the microphone on Dynamite, and how he wishes him good luck. He wishes Hook good luck in the qualifying match for FTW Championship versus Jericho. Okay, like I said, he's being nice but facetious at the same time. Next, we see Hook versus Johnny TV with Tyra Valkyria in his corner, and Hook made him tap quickly. This wasn't a competition. Hook is upset and angry, and Jericho is playing around. You keep poking the bear, and you're gonna catch what's coming. Like I said, having Big Bill, that Big Redwood as he calls him, in his corner ain't gonna stop you. Ain't gonna stop Hook from getting to you. He gonna get to you when you least expect it. I see it coming. This kid is very, very motivated. Next, we see another qualifying match for that FTW Championship. Shibata defeats Rocky Romero, puts him in the figure 4. That looks like an easy match for Shibata too, in a sense. And the next and last qualifying match was Brian Keith, the bounty hunter, my boy, I love this dude, versus the builder, the boulder of Iron Savages, big man. However, no match is big enough for Brian Keith, and he did his thing. He put the big man in. Oh my goodness. He bit the big man on his chest. Because you know these guys always showing stuff. Well, he gave them what they asked for. Anyway, you got now all the trios in this match. You got Shibata, Hook, and now Brian Keith, all are vying for the FTW Championship. So it don't matter which one of them win, although you know it's gonna be Hook. I give credit to all of those guys, but Hook is gonna get that. He's angry right now. Much as I love my man Brian Keith, you ain't no match for Hook, bro. And Jericho is gonna get exactly what he asked for. Anyway, moving along, Bullet Club Gold. Bullet Club Gold made the Bastard Pac feel something, because the Bastard Pac was backstage talking about he's not feeling nothing for these guys, and he doesn't feel that they're worth his time. Well, they made it worth his time by bringing him out on the stage and left him out there after they beat him down. So I say it and I say it again. Be careful what you ask for, Bang Bang Gang. It's not like he can't reform his group, but you will see when they come, and they coming for you. It would be better if you even formed a new group. I'd like to see that. But this is proof now that today's young people are sniffing glue. Backstage segment, Christian Cage and his family, Nick Wayne, says that he was a boy when he last faced Swerve, and he's ready for his match with Swerve coming on this Wednesday's Dynamite. Boy, you gonna catch it. After what you did on Dynamite, yeah, you sniffing glue. And Swerve is gonna use you as an example. Hitting them with the pitcher, making them bleed. He gonna make you an example. And I can't wait. Christian ain't gonna be able to save you. We shall see. Things are about to heat up. And I can't wait to see Dynamite. Orange Cassidy versus Orange Cassidy versus another Cassidy, Isaiah Cassidy. Private Party. Trent Beretta causes a temporary distraction with his appearance. However, Orange Cassidy still gets the win with the beach break finish move. Here's what it is. Orange Cassidy is still doing his thing. Brawl breaks out between Trent and Orange Cassidy as Trent was on the mic calling him a narcissist. So now they're scheduled to have a match also at this weekend Sunday's pay-per-view, Double or Nothing. I want to see how that goes. Serena D versus Anna Jay Serena wins the match, but Toni Storm, her lackey Luther, takes Serena's banner and she wraps it around her naked body. I'm not going to get into what I was thinking, but it's all good. It was comical, but yet interesting. All right, moving on. Nick Wayne showing his wrestling skills versus Jack Cartwheel, which I was saying when he said he was going to face off against my man. He hadn't been in the ring in a minute. Swerve been wrestling since he got his belt. He been wrestling some of the toughest, craziest matches. He ain't got a chance to rest yet. You coming out fresh, ain't wrestled nobody really. But guess what? This fool, Nick Wayne, not only is he pissed off my man Swerve with what he did to him, he stole his move, the house call, and wins the match with it. Nick, you in some trouble. Boy, you gonna catch it. The main event, Team AEW minus Darby Allin versus The Righteous and Lance Archer. Again, I tell you, like I said, it was a setup, and it was. Team AEW looked great. They had things going on, and FTR, along with Bryan Danielson, they pulled it off. They was doing their thing with the Shadow Machine, and they won the match. They did their job. But in the end, at the end of the match, after they defeated The Righteous and Lance Archer, they did their job and took them out. They took out FTR and Bryan Danielson and had them laid out until Daniel Garcia came out to make the save, but even to no avail. He saved them, but FTR looked like they were in bad shape. So as we tune into Rampage, we're going to find out what kind of shape they was in. Stay tuned after these messages for Rampage. Hey there, wrestling fans. This is your boy Teo, the host of Brawl Till We Fall. And I want you to check out my show every Sunday. We have 2 shows. That's right, we have 2 shows on Sunday night. The 2 shows we have is the highlight show, which is at 6:30 p.m. on Sundays. And then we have our premiere show at 8:30 p.m. on Sundays. So check us out. We also have our Thursday night Let's Talk About It show featuring my brothers, and hopefully sometime in the future we can have some wrestling stars or somebody to come out and talk about the pay-per-views that's coming up on that weekend. So every Thursday, right before the pay-per-views, we have our Let's Talk About It show. So check us out. Right there's the info. You can go to YouTube to check us out on YouTube, and soon we'll have other platforms. But until then, right now, check us out. Every Sunday, we have our show. Peace out. All right, we're back with Rampage. Came on right after Collision. So it was a 3-hour show. Great action from beginning to end. As we get into it, Kyle O'Reilly defeated Lee Moriarty with Anthony Ogogo in his corner. Acclaimed was backstage promoting their music videos. Claimed that they're looking for a tag team challenge and basically taking shots at the Mobile Embassy for turning on Swerve. And in the conversation, they learned that Anthony Bowens will face Brian Cage of Mobile Embassy. So I'm getting into that when that happens. Roosh defeats Cody Chun. Some of these names, they need to do better. Backstage, Bryan Danielson, and this is the update on FTR after Collision. Bryan Danielson comes out of the trainer's office and announced that due to injury FTR received at Collision, they will not make it to Dynamite on Wednesday. Yeah. So those guys did their job. I hope they got paid for it. But he will be there and dares the elite to do their worst. But they best not miss. Because if they do, there will be consequences. And I agree. You see, the elite fail to realize something. Bryan Danielson is a member of the Blackpool Combat Club. And one of those members is not wrestling that night. And the other member, even though Moxley is wrestling, he still will come out there and fight. Because that's just who he is. So I got a question for you, Mr. EVPs. Who would you rather face, FTR or the Blackpool Combat Club? With Moxley and Claudio. I don't know. Those guys have been in many of these fights, and that's all they do is fight. I think your chances of winning, you should stop while you're ahead and quit while you're ahead. But if you manage to take out Bryan, then you're good to go, but maybe not, because it looks like these guys that's in charge over there keep stacking the deck. So when you take out one, here comes another that's worse than the last one you took out. So if you take out Bryan Danielson, who may replace him that you may not see coming, that you won't be able to take out? Anyway, that's just the way I look at it. Deonna Purrazzo defeated Robin Renegade. Following the match, Purrazzo issued a beatdown on Robin, which brings out Thunder Rosa for the save. They should just put these two in a steel cage and let them beat themselves, because it is just ridiculous, this back and forth for shenanigans. Scorpio Sky hit his promo. He's coming back. I'm not too enthused. Gotta show me something, Scorpio, when you come back. Someone I've not heard from in a while, Sanjay Dutt. Where you been? He says he heard the elite put a price on Bryan Danielson's head. Here we go. So Bryan will be facing Satnam Singh on Dynamite. Yeah, this should be interesting. I've never really seen Satnam Singh wrestle. In fact, I even said something about it. This dude is a big giant. He is the true Redwood Giant, if you ask me, Jericho. I would like to see him against Big Bill. But if he can't wrestle, or if he gets taken out, because Bryan Danielson has wrestled some big, tall dudes, and he did the one thing that nobody thinks to do, is chop them down. So if Bryan Danielson happens to break his leg, then he ain't no good no more. But we're going to see what happens, and I think that's exactly what's going to happen. Main event, Brian Cage defeats Anthony Bowen with the Acclaim in his corner. I don't understand how it happened, but from what I understand, or what I saw, Brian Cage hits him with a low blow, which is not against anything that Brian Cage is standing for these days. And he wins. And that ends Rampage. And that's all I got for this week. Stay tuned. This Friday, I'll be doing a special Let's Talk About It segment with my brothers. It'll be aired on 10:30 after SmackDown this Friday. We're going to be talking about AEW and WWE's pay-per-view as well. Both pay-per-views are happening this weekend coming. Memorial Day weekend. It's going to be rough. All right, but I'll see you then. Until then, peace and all that good stuff.